Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Cincinnati Reds. All right, guys, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, if you've found the show, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Took me a little while. I'm past 600 now by 602. So I appreciate all the new subscribers. Let's keep it rolling. Let's try to get to 700 as fast as we can. All right, I don't know about you guys or not, but I posted the link on Sports with Strawberry Ice Facebook page and the Reds Country Facebook group to watch batting practice, fielding practice, training camp 2.0, whatever you want to call it, down at GABP. And it was awesome watching it. I watched it yesterday. I watched it again today. I wish they'd have the sound of the ballpark in there. That would be cool. They got some really cool music, but it would be nice to have the sound. But hey, I'll take what I can get right now. Somebody posted on there yesterday that I think the Reds and the Red Sox are like the only two Major League Baseball teams doing this. So I appreciate it, Reds. Thank you very much. I'll take what I can get right now for baseball. So moving on. All right, the Reds and Major League Baseball announced the schedule. The Red schedule was released yesterday. They will open up at GABP July 24th versus the Detroit Tigers. The first pitch is 6:10, televised on MLB Network. Now, the article from Mark Sheldon just said MLB Network. I'm assuming it's going to be on Fox Sports Ohio, but I don't know for sure. But I do know it's going to be on MLB Network at 6:10, July 24th. So we all should get together and watch it. It'll be fun. All right, Cincinnati will play 40 of its games versus the National League Central. 10 each against the Brewers, the Tweety Birds, otherwise known as the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's a breakdown of the games versus Milwaukee and St. Louis. The St. Louis Tweety Birds. We got 3 at home and 7 on the road versus those two teams. And against Chicago and Pittsburgh, it would be 7 at home and 3 on the road. With the remaining 20 games will be matched up against the American League Central. Well, this is going to be kind of cool to see what, like, when the pandemic hit and everything, they first talked about putting basically new leagues together and basically merging the NL Central and the NL Central and AL Central together. And we've been playing these teams a lot. So they kind of did that, except it's NL and AL still, with the DH going on. So it'll be kind of neat to watch Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota, and the Chicago White Sox come in here. And also got those Cleveland Indians we can play all the time. Now, quoting Reds manager David Bell, he said, "I think seeing the schedule makes it a little more real. We could all start planning a little bit more and have an idea of what our life is going to be like and where we are going to be for the next several months." Now, this is me adding on to his quote. "I'm hoping the next several months includes a World Series championship. That would be awesome." Now, like I've said in past shows, the start to this season is going to be so important. I mean, it's only 60 games. You got to get off to a good start. If you start out slow like we did last year, it's over. You are not going to be able to make up that ground in 60 games. The Reds couldn't make up that ground in 152 last year when they got off to the 1-8 start. So there's no way if you get off to 1-8 start this year that we are going anywhere. Hopefully it's more like 8-1 or 10-2 or something like that. We need to get off to a great start. Now the thing is, every team is going to be trying to do that. So not everybody's going to be able to. Hopefully, the Reds will be one of those teams that will rise to the top. Now, it's going to be interesting this year because, like I said, there's only 60 games. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the best teams are going to be in the playoffs or in the World Series. Like I said, there is a huge amount of pressure on these teams to get off to a good start. Like, the favorites everybody keeps saying is the Dodgers and the Yankees. Well, if they start out terrible and they get buried, you don't have enough games to make it up. So it could be it will be a very interesting season. It's going to be a sprint. 60 games, bam, let's go and try to get to the end. And people have said this about all the leagues, about NBA, about Major League Baseball, MLS, hockey, all because of this season, because we had the pandemic pause, that, should these seasons, if you win a championship, should it be an asterisk? And I say no, because to me, it's going to be even harder, I think, to win them. All right, let's put it this way, especially for the NBA and the NHL. They were both literally a couple weeks away from the playoffs. So they're rolling along, getting ready for playoffs, getting mentally ready and everything. And all of a sudden, nothing. Nothing. No sports, no basketball, no hockey, nothing. Everybody stopped. Everybody went home for about 3 months. And now it's something completely different, something you've never done before. You're not going to be playing at home. So all these teams who worked really hard to get home ice or home court advantage, that's all gone. The NBA, they're all going to be down in Orlando. The NHL, they're starting, I think, August 1st. They're going to be in Toronto and Edmonton. So they're going to be, NHL's going to be in two different cities. NBA is going to be in one city. They're all going to be together. They can't see their family. They can't go out and do anything. I mean, it's not going to be terrible. I mean, they're going to be staying in really nice hotels. I mean, I've been down to Wild World of Sports. It's a pretty nice area to be stuck for a couple months. But this whole notion that they should have an asterisk is just ridiculous. I mean, if you want to put an asterisk for, this is harder than winning it normally, then yes. An asterisk to me means it was easier. It's not going to be easier. I think it's going to be harder and more difficult because the other thing is, usually like when the pressure gets the guys, Michael Jordan in the middle of the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals, I can't remember what it was, took off and went to Vegas. There's no taking off and going to Vegas for these guys. They're stuck. They're stuck in Orlando, and they're stuck in Edmonton, and they're stuck in Toronto. That's it. They're not going anywhere else until they are done. So the pressure, the aggravation of just seeing the same guys and doing the same thing, and it's going to get to them. It's going to be harder, I think. It's going to be fun at first. Everybody's like, all right, basketball's back, hockey's back, we're ready to go, blah, blah, blah. And then, about a month into it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm doing the same thing, seeing your ugly face every day. So that's going to be different. So that's where I don't agree with people who say there should be an asterisk. There's no reason to put an asterisk on this because, one, it's never happened before. Two, I think it's more difficult than the regular season is, like I said, because you're stuck. You cannot go anywhere. All right, moving on. I know I don't cover FC Cincinnati very much, and I am really trying, guys, to cover them. I know the MLS tournament starts tomorrow. Now, I know they already had one team drop out, FC Dallas, because they had too many positive tests. I think they had 10 positive tests on their team, so they basically didn't have a team that they could put on the field. So that's one team down, unfortunately. I know from what I understand is they're going to do this tournament, and then I think they're going to play in their home cities after this for a shortened regular season, I think. So hopefully FC Dallas will get healthy and they can play then. But FC Cincinnati's first game, it's going to be a late one. It's at 10:30 on Saturday versus Columbus. I think it's going to be on ESPN. It's either on ESPN or FS1. I'm pretty sure it's on ESPN, but I will be trying to stay up and watch it. The club has Cincinnati on the chest. I'm going to watch it, and it's sports, so I'm very interested to see how it's going to work out because they also have a bubble in Orlando. They're same place that the NBA is. So it's interesting to see how this is all going to work, how it's going to look on TV and everything. Now, speaking of sports on TV. I don't know if you guys watched it this past weekend. It's called the basketball tournament, the TBT. It's a basketball tournament that they put together where they put teams of former college players. Most of them are professional players that play overseas or they played college ball. I don't think there's too many of them that are in the NBA, because normally when they do this, the NBA season is already over. But they are the first one to actually do the bubble. They've done the bubble in Columbus, and it's working out very well. The way it looks on TV is really cool. They got tarps up covering where the seats are at. Yeah, different. They got like the brackets of what team is where, and they get different things. It looks really cool. It doesn't seem like an empty arena, and it doesn't really seem like a high school gym either. It's really neat how they've done it. So I think the NBA is definitely watching how they're doing it, and I think that's the way the NBA is going to set up their courts, and maybe the NHL could set up something like that, because it's going to be really weird to watch these games with empty seats, even with tarps over them. It's just going to be a weird look. If you could do it so it doesn't look empty. That's the biggest thing. If you can put it on TV and it doesn't look empty, I think it looks better. Now, imagine baseball. I don't see how in the world you can do that. I mean, they can put tarps over the seat and advertise and stuff like that. It's gonna be an empty ballpark. There's not much you can do about that. But hopefully we get through these first couple months. I hope get through August, and hopefully by the time September rolls around and football rolls around, we got the protocols and everything together, so we can hopefully let fans in, and hopefully these numbers start going down. That would be great. Like I said earlier, it was great watching the Reds on YouTube today. I really enjoyed it. Here's some news about the Cincinnati Bengals and their upcoming TV schedule. Now, unfortunately, the Cincinnati Reds were supposed to have a national preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, according to Local 12's Jed Demusi, CBS has informed their broadcasters that it won't air the original preseason game. So we basically lost our national broadcast preseason game. The game is still going on between the Bengals and the Falcons. They're just not putting it on national TV. Now, this was supposed to be the game's August 28th. Now, Demusi noted the game itself, like I said, is not canceled. But CBS has cited the NFL is reducing their preseason schedule for a reason. Now, the Bengals currently have 2 preseason games. The problem that the NFL, or the thing the NFL is trying to do, they eliminated, the first and fourth game, so you got the second and third one. The NFL wants every team to have at least one home game. So to me, that means they want one home game, and they are trying to let the fans be in. They haven't given up that yet, I think. Now, at least one home game during the originally scheduled weeks 2 and 3. Now, the problem with that is it won't work currently with the 2 teams that the Bengals have scheduled, because one of them, the article didn't say which one, but one of them, if they keep the schedule the same as it is, will not have a home game. So I'm sure they're going to switch something around, because, like I said, I think they're reducing the preseason. And like I said, I personally mostly think it's because there was no mini camps. There's no time for the players to really get their bodies conditioned and ready for football. Like I said, there's a difference from being in shape and football shape. When you got to smash into some guy 20, 30, 40, 50 times a game, it's totally different than running around catching passes and, two-hand touch or whatever they do in practice, because they don't really hit each other anymore. So that's why I still think that's the biggest reason that they canceled the first and fourth preseason game. And with them, the NFL wanting every team to have at least one home game, that gives me hope that NFL is still planning on letting some fans in. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully a lot. I don't know. I hope they let me in. I want to go. I say like I've said before in past years, I'll wear the mask. I'll sign a waiver. I'll do whatever you want. I just want to go watch the Bengals. So hopefully that they'll work all this out. I mean, it's all fluid situation. I'm sure they're working on trying to get the schedule so every team can have at least one home game, which is kind of difficult because you're only playing 2. So I don't know if that's going to work out or not. Hopefully the Bengals aren't one that loses it because we already have one home game scheduled in the 2 preseason games we have left. So everything's always a fluid situation with this pandemic going on. We're trying to figure out how to get through it and keep everybody as safe as we can. Hopefully we'll let fans in soon. I mean, I know this weekend the Memorial Golf Tournament has decided to not let fans in, which originally they had. They were going to let fans in because of the spiking numbers and stuff, so they've decided to not do that. So hopefully we'll get through this spike and it'll start going back down again, and we can get to when we let fans in. But at least sports is moving forward, and that's good news for sports guys like me. All right. As you guys know, if you don't know, I have Facebook groups that I help run, and I'd like you guys to join them. They are Bengals Country, Bearcats Country, Reds Country, and Cyclones Country also. Follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. Now, if you're listening to me on the podcast, do me a favor, give me a 5-star review, especially if it's on Apple Podcast. Tell all of them you like me and how awesome I am. YouTube subscribers, like I said, we made it. We are past 600. We're at 602. So let's keep it rolling, and let's try to get to 700 as fast as we can. Like I said, I appreciate all the comments, all the texts, everything. I know there hasn't been as many comments going on because everybody's just kind of getting ready for sports. I'm hoping when sports comes back, it'll just boom, and we'll start going. That's why I'm probably going to talk a lot about FC Cincinnati, because they're actually going to have a game Saturday. So next week, I might be talking about them. So if you're an FC fan, you might want to tune in or let your friends know who are FC fans that Strawberry's going to talk about them. Other than that, it's Tuesday. You guys have a great week. That's just sports, baby. See you guys.